Hello everyone, this is Akansh Suman here. Now we will do questions based on the epicyclic gear train. In the question it is given that epicyclic gear train consists of three gears A, B and C. Okay, the gear A has 72 internal teeth and gear C has 32 external teeth. Okay, again again I am repeating that the gear has 72 internal teeth and gear C has 32 external teeth. Okay, the gear B meshes with both A and C and is carried on an arm EF which rotate about the center of A at 18 rpm. If the gear A is fixed, determine the speed of the gear B and C. Okay, we have to draw the diagram. However, in the question the diagram was given but I have not mentioned because we need to practice how to draw the diagram using the statement. Okay, so I'm just drawing the diagram as the question is asked saying. So there is a, you can see here there is a gear has 72 internal teeth. Okay, and gear C has 32 external teeth. That means if gear A has 72 internal teeth, that means it would be a ring gear or annulus. Okay, so I'm just drawing here annulus. This is annulus. Okay, and there is a gear C which is having external teeth, and gear C is also known as sun gears. We all know that this is sun gears and the gear A would be ring or annulus. This is B and this is C, and there is an arm which is connected between B and C. This is an arm EF. Okay, this is an arm EF. Now in the question it is given that teeth on the gear A is 72 or teeth on the gear C are 32. Okay, now teeth of the B is not given in the question. Can we find out the teeth on the on the B, gear B? See here, this is gear A. Okay, how can I write the radius of the gear A? That is RA is equal to RC plus 2 RB. Yes or no? I can write it as or not, because radius of the gear A is consist of radius of gear C and twice of the radius of gear B, that means the diameter of the gear B. So I can write it as RA is equal to RC plus 2RB, and we all know that R is equal to MT by 2 module multiplied number of teeth upon 2. Okay, so I can write here, because all are the mating gears, all the gears are in mesh to each other, that means all are having the same module. I can write here that is MA is equal to MB is equal to MC is equal to M, because all are mating gears, all are in meshing to each other, so all are having the same module. So I can write here M TA by 2, that is equal to M TC by 2 plus twice M twice MTB by 2. Okay, now M would be cancelled out and you will get 2 will be cancelled out, and remaining equations would be TA is equal to TC plus twice of TB. Okay, now here in the question it is given that TA is equal to 72 and that is equal to 32 plus twice of TB. So we can calculate the number of teeth on the gear B. You will get the value TB is equal to 20. When you solve this, you will get the value TB, that would comes out to be 20. So this is the number of teeth on the gear B, and now we are having the number of teeth on the gear A, B as well as C. Now we are going to find out the speed of the gear B and C. We have to draw the table as generally we draw the table in the epicyclic gear train problems. So this is the motion, okay, this is the arm, and this is a C, this is B, and this is A. You have to start with the sun gears, okay, it would be easy to solve the questions. Don't start with the gear A, okay, just start with the C, then B, then A. So motions, in the motions we first assume that the arm is fixed, arm is fixed, and the gear C, and gear C rotate with the gear C rotate with x rpm, rotate with plus x rpm, plus x rpm. I am considering plus sign as clockwise. Here I am going to write that plus sign as clockwise and minus sign means anti-clockwise. Okay, so I am assuming that gear C rotate in the clockwise direction with x rpm. So arm is fixed, that's why speed of the arm is 0 here, and this is plus x, and we can calculate the speed of the gear B using the velocity ratio, speed ratio NB upon NC, that would be equal to TC upon TB. We all know that the speed is inversely proportional to the number of teeth, yes or no? So from here we can calculate the speed of the gear B, that would be NC multiply TC upon TB. Okay, now here you can see the speed of the C is plus x multiply TC upon TB, x multiply TC upon TB. But what would be the direction? Okay, what would this would gives you the magnitude of the speed of the gear B, but you need to see what is the direction for the gear B. That's why the diagram, the drawing of the diagram is important, because here you can easily see that the direction of the V would be opposite to the direction of C. So we have assumed the direction of C as clockwise, so we can see both are mating gears. If C is in clockwise direction, B would be in anti-clockwise direction, so that's why B direction would be in anti-clockwise, and I have assumed that the anti-clockwise is negative. Okay, and now we can calculate the speed of the gear A. So how can we calculate that the speed of the, similarly we can calculate the speed of the A, that is NB multiply TB upon TA. Okay, so here you can see that the speed of the B we have calculated that minus x TC upon TB. Now what would be the direction of the gear A? In the diagram you can easily see that the A has internal teeth. A is having an internal teeth. That means whatever be the direction of B having would be the same direction of A. Okay, it means if B is in rotation anti-clockwise direction, A also rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. If B will rotate in clockwise direction, A will also rotate in the clockwise direction, because A having the internal teeth which is connected to the external teeth of the gear B. You can see here, if the B rotate in the clockwise direction, A will also rotate in the clockwise direction. Okay, so here we have calculated the direction of the B, that is anti-clockwise. So similar direction of the gear A having, so minus x, speed of the gear B is minus x TC upon TB with the directions, and multiply with TB upon TA, and here it would be cancel out. Now in the next block we have considered that arm is free. What we can consider? Arm is free, and assuming that the having plus y, that means y rpm in clockwise direction, so it would be x plus y, and it would be y minus x TC upon TB, and it would be y minus x TC upon TA. Okay, now see in the question what is given. You just have to draw the table in a general form. Okay, don't try to put the values directly in the table, otherwise there is a possibility to make a mistake. Okay, and just to draw the table as it is, and we are going to use the speed of the gears of that block, okay, of that, that table. This is just the procedure we have started and just the procedure we have ended. So in the procedure that we have ended, we have get the arm rotations, that is y, and which is given in the question, it is having 18 rpm. Okay, 18 rpm. However, it is not given that it is anti-clockwise or clockwise, so you can generally assume that the it is in clockwise, or you can say plus 18 rpm, that means clockwise direction. Now in the question again, one thing is given that the if the gear A is fixed, that means what is given, gear A is fixed, then we have to calculate the speed of the gear B and gear C. So speed of the gear A would be equal to 0 because gear A is fixed. And what is the speed of the gear A? This is, that is y minus x Tc upon Ta. Okay, that is equal to 0. And y is 18, y minus x Tc is what? Tc is 32 upon Ta. Ta is 72. So from here you can calculate the value of x in rpm. So it would comes out to be, I'm just calculating, you have to calculate also. So the value of x that would comes out to be, that is 40.5 rpm. That would be the speed of x. Okay, this is also in plus, that means it is also in clockwise direction. Now we have to find out the speed of the B, that is asking in the question, and we all know that the speed of the B is that is y minus x Tc upon Tb, and y is 18, x is also 18, multiply Tc is 32, and what is the number of teeth on the gear B? We have calculated Tb is 20. So from here you can get the speed of the gear B, and that would comes out to be 46.8. You can calculate, you will get the value 46.8 rpm, but it would be in minus. Okay, sorry, here we have make a mistake, that here x is not 18, here x is 40.5. 40.5 multiply 32 upon 20. So when you calculate this 40.5 multiply 32 upon 20, you will get 46.8, but it would be in minus. Okay, so that means it would be in the direction opposite to the rotation of the arm. If arm is going to be rotated, because we have assumed that the arm is in rotation in anti-clockwise direction, so according to the direction of the arm we get the value of the speed of the arm, that is 46.8, and in the opposite direction to that of the arm. Okay, and similarly we can calculate the speed of the gear C, and that is x plus y. So here x is a 40.5 and y is plus 40.5, sorry 18, it would be 18. So you'll get 48 40 58.5. Okay, you will get the 58.5 rpm, and that is in clockwise direction. when you see when you see the direction of the gears in the diagram, you can see here C is in clockwise direction. Okay, C is in clockwise direction, and if C is in clockwise direction, we all know that the B would be in anti-clockwise direction, and we got the value in minus sign, so that means it is correct. Okay, so that is, it is having the anti-clockwise direction. If it is anti-clockwise direction, A would also be in anti-clockwise direction, but generally in the question it is but in the question it is saying that the gear A is fixed. Okay, so gear A is fixed, that means C and B and arm is moving. So if the gear A is in a rotation with a clockwise direction, and B would be in anti-clockwise direction, and the magnitude we have get it. Okay, so you have to solve the questions on the epicyclic gear train, because the number of questions is going to be. What is the important in the epicyclic gear train? That is just how to draw the table. If you draw the table correctly, you will get the answer, because you can see here we have just to put the values in this the data of the table. Okay, so just learn how to draw the table accurately in the different questions. By solving the different questions, you just be able to draw the table, okay, according to the questions, and then you will get the answer easily in the examinations. So you just have to careful about the direction as well, because the direction is also important in the question. Generally they mention you the direction clockwise, anti-clockwise, if the question is of objective type. Okay, so I hope you will understand the solution of that questions. There is no need to be worry about it. Okay, so thank you.